My name is Jim Atkinson, and I'm running for re-election to the Mesa Water District Board. I'm committed to clear, clean, and reliable water. That's Mesa's mission. That's what we as a special district are committed to. And we've got a great board. We've made some long-range plans. We've made some short-range plans. We've made some great improvements in what other boards have done before us and what other boards will be able to do after us. Our water is 100% groundwater. That means that we're not reliant on the changes that occur for imported water. Those changes affect the wholesale agencies like Orange County Water District you're going to hear from later this evening. But I'm an advocate for responsible financial strength and transparency. I have been for as long as I've been on the board. It's your water district, and we want you to know what we're doing. So through communicating with our customers, we help them see the strength and the transparency of what goes on. The long-term planning horizons are necessary in the water industry. If you think back in the 1930s, it was the water boards then that made plans for the Colorado River Aqueduct. If they hadn't made those plans then, we'd be in big trouble today without the water from the Colorado Aqueduct. In the 60s, it was the planners who established the California Aqueduct. Those horizons are tremendous, but they've done a great job in providing for our futures and for our children's futures. And that's important when we consider water is one of the most important elements of our life. So I'm a long-standing ratepayers advocate. That's a matter of public record. It's on record that I voted no in the last rate hearings. My fellow board members will tell you that they were a little disappointed in my no vote, but I had some other ideas about how some of the things should be done, and so I didn't support the rate increase at the time. Another example of that, when we were getting ready to plan the celebration for the Mesa Water Reliability Facility, I voted no on the event planning issues for that event as well. I didn't see the need for the significant expense that was going out there. I'm glad it happened now. It was a terrific event across the industry, not just in Costa Mesa, but across the whole industry. And that's important for the industry to recognize the significance of our board and the significance of our accomplishment with that facility. It's the facility that allows us to be 100% local and reliable, and that's a very important position. Well, Mesa gets all of its income from rates. 95% of our income comes from rates. The other 5% from some investments and from developer fees and connection fees. But we're primarily a rate-based operation, which means the costs are what it costs us. And when you talk about what it costs you, my opponent talks about he doesn't think we need the rate increases, but I imagine you've all been paying attention to your electric bills. The biggest cost in water is electricity. Moving the water from there to there, wherever there is probably the most expensive piece of the water puzzle. And we have to anticipate those rates. We set a defined limit for our rates. We don't set a hard rate. Our rate increases were set, I think at this stage, it's a 3.5% increase. We don't necessarily have to take that every year, but we can if the rates go up, if the electricity rates and the costs of water go up to the point that we have to charge that much. But we've anticipated all of that with our rate increases. I'm a strong advocate for pipe and infrastructure renewal and replacement. I've been an advocate of that for 16 years on the board. It's important. Pipe costs for replacement are about $1.5 million per mile. Mesa owns 350 miles of pipe. So you can see we have about $500 million in assets in the ground just in pipe. That doesn't count the 9 wells that we use. The wells are about $2.5 to $3 million apiece. So there's a significant investment that you have in your water district in the rates that you pay. And we as a board are the stewards of your investment in that water district. Talking about rates, one of the issues there, we have strived for a number of years now to achieve a AAA bond rating. AAA bond rating is very important because when we go out to finance a project, with the AAA bond rating means we get the lowest interest rates available for the financing of that project, that pipe replacement, that well renewal project, whatever it is that we might have to finance. We achieved that slightly before we went out to bid for the colored water facility, the Mesa Water Reliability Facility. And just this week, we got a message back, our AAA ratings have been affirmed, and I'd like to read you a quote from Fitch, which is one of the rating agencies. Every year they do a review of our bond rating and they do an update. And the quote I'd like to read you is from their assessment letter. It reads, "Good rate discipline. The district's board has raised rates as needed, adopting multi-year rate increases to ensure strong financial performance. Rates compare favorably relative to area providers and income levels, affording additional rate flexibility." So what that means is our AAA rating was sound. It's based on good financial policies and practices, and the rate was necessary for us to maintain that. Mesa's board has set examples in the industry, okay? And one of those examples is having led the charge on protecting annexations to the groundwater basin from agencies that are on the perimeters. We led the charge for cost-neutral annexation, and were successful in having the producers follow that, and having Orange County Water District set a policy that meant that all of the annexations at the time and in the future will be cost neutral to all of the producers, so it doesn't raise our cost. It saved all of the producing agencies millions of dollars in the years to come. So thank you for your time this evening. I really appreciate you coming out to hear us, and I humbly ask for your vote on November 4th.